Good, and you, bro? What's up? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know, let's get right into it, bro. Let's get right into it. Let's get right into it, bro. I know you don't call me here. I don't want me to talk to y'all about some things, you know. So I'm already here. I showed up and I pulled up. So yeah. Sincerely yours. Yeah, it's the recent one. I just recently dropped it. Yeah. It's always been a concept I've always had in my mind as a special letter to people, you know. And I just wrote that. It always been in my mind like a long time, you know. And then when we started getting more into the music, it was like, yeah, let's get it down, you know. Just got it down, and then you know, me and my producer, we worked on it really hard. You know, it came to life. You know, it was just an idea, and then we brought it all to life with that song and all that music, you know what I mean? Ah, damn. Actually, it came from the first song that we did, which was Square One. We don't know. Oh, the convict situation came through, and we had, from the previous project, we had so much things that we wanted to do, and that was like that's the first thing that just opened the whole entire project. That was like Square One. That was like the most interesting thing that ever happened. And how the idea just came into place and how we called the song was just like, yo, it was like, that was the first thing that ever came through. I always prefer a phone, right? But when I want to get into more of that feeling, because there's one thing I've learned is that there is something so special about writing on a pad with that pencil or pen. It's such a special relationship between those things that go on right there. So I always prefer a phone, but if I want to get into, like, dive into something that's much more deeper or get into that feeling much more harder, I would always prefer using my pen and pencil, you know, and my pad. You know, that's what I like to get into sometimes. It's a special relationship. When we listen to it, you know, I feel like when we listen to it, the whole entire project from the first track to the last track, and we listen to it, if it tells a story and it all makes sense, and then we can be like, yeah, you know, it all makes sense. I feel sometimes I'm also lucky because most of the team that I work with is, I would say we're on the same wavelength, but when we get into the studio, there's always a reason and a purpose of us getting into it, you know. So we just listen to the whole entire thing, and then it'll be like, okay, we got the whole entire thing, you know. Ah, jeez. Both of them. Nas. I don't know. I'll be real. I would never separate these two, because these two things, those are two different people, and I like them for different reasons, you know. As I said from before, I always took Nas for a sense of like powerhouse in terms of like writing skill. You know, I'm also a person who likes to pay attention to that, you know, like deep into that writing. And Jay-Z, when it comes to building a goddamn empire, man, and starting it from the bottom and building it up to the top, that's what I really get into. I nearly swear, I'm sorry, I nearly listen to this shit anyway, but yeah, I'm game with both of them. I cannot separate those two. They influence me a lot. I've always been a person who analyzes and thinks a lot, you know, and in quite honesty is, when I looked at most of my peers, I would say in a come up, I wasn't seeing any more of that, you know. I felt that sort of art was lost, you know. I wasn't getting it anymore, you know. Like, I've always been seeing like EPs, like it was always hard now to tell a full story with a beginning and an ending, you know. So for me, I was like, I want to play along this, and for me, it also comes with the people that I listen to, you know. They've always been people that make full projects, so it kind of like dived into me a little bit. It got into me a little bit, you know. It wasn't even something I was really gunning to. It just happened, you know. It just got into it like that. Blow up. I'll say the reason was, when I made Blow Up, I was in a different state of mind, And when I had to finish up the song, it was so much for me, and I couldn't do it. And I took a lot from like some of the singles I've ever heard from like Blow Up, you know. And I wanted to put all that together. And when that time came, it was really truly difficult for me. I couldn't really hit the bar. I couldn't really get over to the edge of it. And also the recording, when we got into the studio, we did like the first piece of it. And we listened to it. When I was telling my producer, I was like, yo, VZ, this does not sound well. And VZ was like, it doesn't, but the thing is, it hasn't gotten into the master or into the mastering process. And then when we did it again, it was really sitting really well. You know, that was like the most challenging thing for me. For me, it comes to the art of the beats. You know, the beats first. You know, if I feel more connected to the beat, and when I jot on it and when I write on it, and it just flows, I cannot stop that, and I cannot say I need to go do the 7-track or I need to go do the 8-track. I don't even have a certain procedure of like, you know, it's just the thing about it's all about feeling for me. When it get into the beat and then I'm like, yo, dude, I like this, let's lace it up, and then we lace it up. It's all about that for me. Storgy for me. Storgy is such a powerhouse. Lyrically, he's amazing to me. He really is. I can't even say shit that much. But I'll be honest. I've been listening a lot to Proverb a lot. Like really, you know, sometimes when you say you know artists and you listen to them, and then you only had like most of the music that they play probably on radio or most of the tracks that people have. But now I've been really diving deep into him, and I'm like, yo, I'm really respecting the art form that he used to do. You know, from coming from behind and just knocking everything in its path and showing yourself to the fullest of your capabilities. Cole for me, Cole, I would say the story that he wrote for me was relating. Most of the things he was telling for me, like moving into college, you know, loving the things that you had, because I've lived both sides of this, you know, even though I've never obtained that much, but coming from the sort of family that I came from, you know, I understood what he was talking about, you know. And then when it comes to Kendrick, so beautiful. He's an amazing, far from I would say as an artist, as a person. The amount of patience and the amount of resilience and drive that runs into that, and breaking barriers, it is so impeccable for me. It is amazing. It is great. So I can never separate those two, because those are also the people that I genuinely listen to on my day-to-day basis. So I cannot say this one and shut them out, and say this one and shut them out, because there's things that make me drift towards them in different ways. I'll probably take a shot at Drake, and I'll probably do a feature with Kendrick. And then obviously the last one. Honestly, for me, I wouldn't want to lie. I don't have any other outlet, you know, that really puts me or differentiates me, you know. And when I was living most of my time, I didn't really know what I was living for, you know. I didn't know what I was really pushing towards. But when I really started getting into music and how it growed me as a person and groomed me and showed me so many things about life, and I want to share with it. I feel like I'm in a stage where I want to share now. It's not even about the music. I just want to help wherever I can help. You know, it's just playing a role in just humanity right now. But music is really one of the greatest things that was ever introduced to me at an early age. Getting to this age right now, it's been doing a lot for me, you know.